You are now live. You are now live with Jason. Hey, hi. Oh, look who it is. Hi. Let's wait back. This is fun. Sorry for the delay. Just all sorts of fun things happening today. For some reason, my iPad won't let me do Instagram Live, so I had to scramble to get my little tiny phone here up, and, well, we're ready to go. This is Abigail. Hi. Oh, those pies. Okay, let me ask you a question, Abigail. How, what, why? All three of those. How, what, and why do you find yourself in the Pacific Ocean, what seems like every day, when you don't have to be wet and cold? What's happening there? Answer that question for me. Also, your pies look amazing, and next time I'm over there, I'm going to get some. I'm going to wave at everybody that I can. Thanks for showing up, everyone. Really appreciate it. I want to answer lots of questions, so please ask me lots. But for now, I'm saying hi. Callie Stara, hi. Welcome here to you. You are up late. So, if you didn't see my post that I put up about 2.5 hours ago. Sorry. Yes. Sorry, Abigail. Yes, that's your mom that does that. My apologies. You do not go in there. Well, good. I encourage you either way. If you saw my post, Streamily, we had some issues with prints, so they're not here, unfortunately. Very unfortunately. So, today is a Q&A. I'll answer whatever questions I can. And next Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, I will do signing. Now, hopefully that makes it easier for folks who are overseas who might be joining us. That's not so late in the evening. It's still late-ish, but not like ridiculously late. So hopefully that's better, not late like now. So thank you for joining me from wherever you are. A host Streamily. Yes, I know it's not anyone's fault. I don't think it's. Oh, what have I done? I'm so sorry, guys. I don't think it's anyone at Streamly's fault. I didn't mean for it to sound that way. The mail. It's the mail. It's just how that works sometimes. Okay. Guys, just give me a second. I'm going to freak out about this the entire time. So just let me fix this. Watch out. Here's my beard and there's my mouth. I'm just adjusting this to make this work better for us. Okay. Very good. Okay. Who asked me this here? Thanks so much for being so connected to the fans. It is, it's absolutely my pleasure. And I thank you all of you for being fans of our show. Truthfully, right, it's our show wouldn't be where it is and what it is without the love of the fans and the support. So we have you to thank, and I'm so glad that we have this avenue to do that. Streamily, lots of Jason stories on the other live stream. Oh, I bet there is. I bet they're telling stories. I love them. I tried to connect with Raquel's and I just lost connection, but it looked like they were having a blast over there. Prince, yes, next Saturday. Don't forget, I'll say that a number of times, but I want to just remind everyone that that's going to happen next Saturday at 11 a.m. in this very space. There are 3 Heimbichner siblings in the chat. Hello. Very good. Have you considered trying out Viren's facial hair? Wow. Yes. Not only considered, but did years ago. Years ago when it was shorter and this was all dark just sort of blackish brown and then red. I'm very Scottish. Half of me and a little more than half of me is Scottish, so that's in my blood. So this was very dark and sort of reddish in the sunlight, and I just had this thing, and it does not look as good on me. See, my bone structure is different than Viren's significantly. I kind of go bottom lip and then sort of the clavicle. There's no chin it goes bottom lip, Adam's apple, and then collarbones. There's no chin to really speak of. So this gives me some nice structure. Whereas Viren, of course, has the best. Is this my home studio? Yeah, this is where I record a bunch of stuff. So this is where I do all my auditions. Through the pandemic, I recorded some cartoons, some video games in here, some commercial stuff, a bunch of stuff. Yeah. So this is where I work. This is usually my setup right here. And then I've got everything else on this side that you can't see. Hey there yourself. Be right back. If you can't come back, we will have a great stream. Thank you so much. Lovely of you to show up. I greatly appreciate it. I want to make sure I'm answering all the questions here. Everyone who ordered gets a Zoom call. How does that go down? Do you email us, message us on Instagram? Great question. For the Zoom stuff, what I'm going to do is I'll put a post out as well on Instagram and Twitter. I'll get you to just say on one of those, just send me a message that says, hey, I ordered a post, or a Zoom. I ordered a Zoom, not a post. I ordered a Zoom, a picture. Wow, I'm really messing this up. Send me a direct message that says, hi, Jason, I'm one of the people that ordered a picture and gets a Zoom. And I will say, yes, I verified that as you. And then we can message back and forth. This is so weird because I'm not seeing anyone or talking to anyone specific. So I feel like it's okay for me to ramble because no one's answering me back. But I know that's not the truth, so I apologize. I am very much a rambler. How do you think Viren would court someone? Wow. That's a very good question. I think we all, just by looking at it, I think we can maybe assume he's not like the world's greatest romantic. So, I don't know, dinner and a play. No movies, of course, but dinner and a play. Maybe chocolates. Maybe some sort of fun flowers. I don't know, that sounds so typical, but I don't think he really thinks out of the box when it comes to that stuff. Impressed by voiceover folks' endurance because it looks like it gets warm. What, this place? Very. In fact, yeah, very. I'm leaving this on for now. Very hot. It gets very hot, even in the wintertime. Comfortable, and then very. In the summertime when I was recording some video game stuff, it was really loud and I was doing a lot of yelling, and it was just over and over and over, which is sort of how video games work. There's quite a bit of repetition to that sort of stuff with lines, and then you have efforts. I was in here in my underwear. I had a different computer at the time, and I had ice packs sitting on my computer at a Mac Mini. And I had ice packs on my computer and my interface because they were so hot. I was also hot, but needed the ice packs for the technology. So, yeah, it gets really warm. Can you say hi to Amber in a Viren voice for a friend? Is Amber there? I would like to say hello to Amber. Good afternoon, Amber. It's very nice of you to join me. I hope Amber heard that. There's Holly. Hi, Holly. I order print. Give me Zoom. Okay, yeah. You got it. We will. I will be at Taco Bell, and you will not. So... Rowan Malhotra. Hey, there's my old buddy. Lionsbane. Hey, man. Look at all these lovely people. Thank you for being here. Viren would just spell them? I don't know. That's a little... That's a little beyond unromantic. I don't think that's how he would work. How long are you going to have the Zoom print offer? Well, because I'm doing the signing till next week, or I'm not doing it until next week now, we'll wait for those to show up. And so basically another week, Yeah. And let me say this again. Now, there's a bunch of people in here. This is not. I don't assume this is Streamily's issue that they didn't show up. They've always been very prompt and always been very good with this stuff. So it's really a mail issue or courier, whatever it is. It's just a thing. So I just want to make sure that's clear. I didn't point out one way or the other before, but I do want to make sure that that's clear. Lovely working with Streamily, and I'm a big fan of what they do and how they treat us as clients, I guess, co-work conspirators, clients. They treat us very, very well. It's lovely to work with Streamily, so I'm very happy that I'm a part of this with them. I found a Taco Bell about an hour away, and I'm strangely dedicated. Do it! They'll have something you can eat. Let's do it. We'll figure it out. I once went to the grand opening of a Taco Bell when they finally came to my city. Okay, funny story. When I lived in Lethbridge, I grew up in Lethbridge and area, which is it's a small town, smallish. I think there was like 90,000 people. It's not small. I actually grew up in a town of 2,000 people outside of Lethbridge. But I remember when Lethbridge had their first Taco Bell, or only Taco Bell, open up. And I think I went in one of the first days they opened because they had all kinds of specials. And there was just something about it. It was a different vibe, right? Because it used to only be in America, in the States. And so it was pretty cool. We got put on the map, the Taco Bell map. And then when it came down to it, it was really still just Taco Bell. If I'm being really honest, Taco Time. Taco Time is where it's at. I'm about to play D&D with friends, but I want to pop. All right. Have a blast with your friends playing D&D. Go kill them all, or whatever you do at D&D. Throw your dice at them and draw your swords and stuff. There's 3 in the country. Turns out 1 is nearby. Taco Bell is rare. You know what? I did some Taco Bell research I don't have the stats in front of me, so I'm just going to end up making things up. It's 2 a.m. Oh, wow. I'm so sorry that you are up at 2 a.m. Well, next week, Saturday, the 10th, we will be right here again signing, and it will be 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's 4 hours earlier. So that'll be a lot easier for folks. Have you thought about joining Cameo? Buying Cameos is super cool. I actually am. Well, I joined up 3 years ago and then never went back. I don't think. So I guess I could jump back in there. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. As you can see, I make decisions very easily, very quickly. Yeah, I'll probably maybe sort of think about maybe doing it. Definitely think about it for sure. Apparently back in the early mid-90s, there was 65,000 people in Lethbridge. Thank you, Simps K. You look, by the way, Simps K, you look very beautiful in your picture. Whoever you are very, very attractive. That's my wife, everybody. Cameo, cute beverage. Oh, yes. This is one of my favorites. This is probably my all-time favorite Disney character. Fun story about this. Not fun, and I told it before, so I'm going to bore you with it again. I had one for years and years and years that I got at Disneyland. I cherished it. I dropped it off the edge of my chair onto the ground. It broke. And then I spent years without it. And anyone who I knew who went to Disneyland, I would say, please look for the Tigger mug. And no one could find it. Then my best friend, Andy, went to Disneyland and said, no, there's nothing. Came back, and he had lied to me, and he brought this. So this doesn't go in the microwave. It does go in the dishwasher, but I'm worried about the microwave. I don't want the handle to break. So, good job, Jason. We're talking about microwaving mugs. Let's see what other questions we got here. Hello to those folks who've joined us. Could you share with us a scene from season 4 that didn't actually make it in the show? There isn't scenes that didn't make it. There are certainly readings, like there's certain styles. Aaron and Justin are very, very open. The most I've ever seen any director / writer creators ever. They're very open to sort of one for them, one for us. We just give them what we think they want. And it's really not that. What they want is for us to do our job. So we go and we do our thing. And then they're very open to us saying, I'd like to try it this way. I want to kind of flip it. So instead of large and emotional, I want to try it quieter and intense. Something like that, right? Instead of big and yelly or whatever it is. So that we've certainly had lots of variations of lines that unfortunately didn't make it in. And there were certainly some that I thought, like the get a grip line. I think we probably did that, I don't know, more than half a dozen times. And just a variation of very droll, get a grip versus get a grip, that kind of stuff. So it kind of saw the spectrum of those. And then they chose the one that they liked the most. Very important question. Is Viren gnome-piled or goblin mode? Wow, what a great question. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I wish I did. I wish I did, because I'd love to be able to say, oh, Viren is totally goblin mode. Gnome-piled. Gnome-pilled. Gnome-pilled? Oof. Gnome-pilled doesn't sound as bad as gnome-piled. Gnome-piled sounds painful. Goblin mode sounds, whatever, but I doubt that's what that means. Someone explain that to me. Favorite Viren scene, if it can be from any scene. Well, it still remains that short scene in season 2, where he interacts with the mirror and he's putting the stuff in his eyes, and he just has that moment where he screams at the mirror and belittles it. And it's just this very, you know the scene. And really, he's talking to himself. He's talking about himself to himself, but it's directed at the mirror. And that was an emotional moment for sure, which is wonderful to play. I mean, those are the best kind of scenes where you can truly connect and get emotional. I also loved in season 3, when he's talking with the Pentarchy and he tells the entire story. It goes between two episodes. I love that whole thing. I think it's because Viren gets to weave this entire story. And that was a blast. When the writers trust you with so much information, so much dialogue, and you've got to, I guess, sort of carry it vocally, and then the rest of the cinematics, the visuals carry the rest of the story, of course. That's a real honor. So I'm always happy when that happens. Was it fun to explore Viren's more emotional side in season 4? Always. 100%. I mean, I felt that Viren has sort of plateaued where he was, and I was really eager to move forward into season 4, where we could hopefully explore something new and progress. And we did, greatly so, and we are. There's some cool stuff coming that I cannot talk about. Talk about favorite scenes. I got some coming. So yes, it was very, very fun. Oh, whoops. I'd like to hear about Viren scenes that only existed in your own imagination. Headcanon type thing. Oh, yeah, those are great. Well, it's no surprise that I've said it before. I love the idea of Viren having tattoos. They just have to do with his practice of magic, and they work on certain things. I mean, they will light up, however magic works with tattoos. I don't know. So I love that idea of him going through that. I also would love to explore early Viren, because I love the idea of early him becoming friends with Harrow, being married, and how that really, I know we see some of that in the books, but to really explore that, you could do that with any character, of course, but Viren is my character, so I would love to see certainly more of that. And between you and me, I've always told the creators, I've always told Justin and Aaron that Viren and Barrios are brothers. And they said, no. But I said, yes, they are. So I would love to see that, where that happened. Of course, Barrios is an ex-Black Ops for, Catalyst, Secret Service, whatever. That, of course, is also my headcanon. That's not real, but I would love it to be. Oh, does Viren like gnomes or goblins more? Oh, I see. I think goblins. Gnomes seem annoying. That's just me. I'm not speaking on behalf of Viren, but if I had to make the choice for him, I would say goblins. Goblins seem... goblins seem like if they had a mission, they're on it. They're going. Gnomes just sort of stand around. I don't know. I know nothing about either of them. But did Viren lie about anything to the Pentarchy when he told the stories? Wow, that's a loaded question. The answer is no. That is my 100% truthful belief. If that changes people's opinions on something, or someone doesn't want to believe me and they want to believe something different, 100% okay. Totally fine. But as far as I'm concerned, and here's an important thing about when you play characters, you have to know specifics, even if you don't know the details. So to come in and say, I think my character knows this, or my character maybe is this, you're doing your character a disservice, you're doing the story a disservice, because if your character doesn't know, the actor doesn't know. And then that takes away the honesty from the read. Doesn't mean your character has to know everything, but what they do know has to be, it has to be truthful, and it has to be 100%. I know this. My character can not know lots of things, and they can be in that headspace of, I don't think I know that, or I do know that, or I don't know that. But as the actor, I can't go in and guess at stuff. I think my character is truthful there. It may turn out later that I was wrong, but then it turns out that the character is also wrong or right, whatever it is. So that is my truthful, honest answer and belief going into that. Reading the script, knowing the facts, that is exactly how I felt about that, based on everything we know about what's happening. I think that was a very roundabout way of saying, yes, it's all true. Viren's flashbacks are the only one where we have word of God he was honest and accurate. So they really did trust you. Look at me. Wouldn't you trust this? Do you think a scene from season 5 will become your new favorite? I heard you guys already recorded season 5. Yes, we have, and possibly. We possibly might. Have you tried doing a Tigger voice or Viren in an Eeyore voice? My Tigger voice is terrible. Viren doing an Eeyore voice. I mean, Eeyore is down in here. Oh, well, I guess it's just kind of that sort of thing. But that'd be fun to read our characters in Winnie the Pooh character voices. I've always liked Rabbit, too. Rabbit's always had that sort of witty, he's very annoyed and short-tempered. I like that a lot. And he also always gets after Tigger, but he loves him. What do you think Lissa was like? As in headcanons. If it's spoilers, you don't have to answer. Well, I can... No, I think everyone knows already. Everyone knows what there is to know. Except for spoilers. Move on. If you had a choice, what magical element would you have? Oh. What? Where are we limited in magical elements? Like flying, or... Because, I mean, flying would be... that'd be pretty amazing. Would I have to have those feathery wings, though? Because that creeps me out a little bit, to be quite honest. When he jumps out and goes, Wingardi, whatever, Wingus. I don't remember what that kid says. I wouldn't want the wings, but flying would be pretty rad. And I would like the magic power to be like a replicator, a food replicator, like in Star Trek. If I could just say, cheeseburger, no onions, and there it was. I would love that. So whatever the foodus apirus, Optimus Prime impression. Oh, don't put me on the spot like that. Maybe later. Thoughts on younger Viren? In your headcanon, was he a jock? I'm only I'm voicing what you typed. Laughing. No, goodness no. I don't think so. I do think, and this is the other part of that headcanon, I do think the dude is ripped. Like, I think he stays healthy. So, he'd only put on so much weight, but he's got some muscle on him. He's sinewy. He's tough. You don't want to corner him in a fist fight. I loved your comments on Viren and Soren's relationship in the stream from last week. I don't have a follow-up question. Just want to thank you for your insight. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, that's a tough one, right? Because a lot of people don't believe what I said, or don't want to believe it. And I get it. I totally get it. We don't see a whole lot from Viren proving my point. We see a lot of the opposite. But that doesn't mean it's not there. And it doesn't mean it's not going to be seen. It also doesn't excuse anything. So that's tough. There's a really big unstable emotion. There's a lot of unstable emotion in that relationship. And it's fractured and broken. And a lot of times broken things can't be fixed. But I think there's something, and I don't want to get too much into it. I'm not pushing one way or the other for what's to come. I will say this, there is exploration of that. We will see more Viren and Soren in the coming seasons. So I can say that because Aaron has said that. So I'm not spoiling anything, but I appreciate that. I love those kind of questions because I know there's a lot of argument online. I've read them, not been in them, but certainly read them. People are very against that idea. And I can't side with that because we're humans, we're all flawed, we all make mistakes. Certainly some mistakes are bigger than others, but is there room for forgiveness and redemption? Yeah, absolutely. It's just bloody difficult and sometimes can take a very, very, very long time. And sometimes too late. If you could master one of the 6 primal sources of magic, which one do you think he'd choose if Viren could? Please. What hasn't he mastered? He's got them all. Jason quickly looks up what all the primal... maybe what's the water one called? Is there a water thing where he could go underwater and just live? Oh, guys, I don't pay attention to anything anyone else is doing. I only know what my character does. That's the kind of actor I am. What does Viren think about Callum and Ezran? Idiots. They're the children of his best friend. It's a little weird to see him treating them like we saw. Yeah. Yes, would he treat them that way if Harrow was alive? Absolutely not. But because Harrow isn't alive, Viren takes on that mantle in his mind, and he needs to physicalize that, and he needs to... Those are the blinders, right? My friend is dead. I've got to take charge of this for humanity. That comes with rights and wrongs and some really bad, horrible, terrible decisions. And part of that is the way he treats the boys. He doesn't have time for them. They're just kids. He can see them as maybe dangerous and getting in his way. Again, not excusing that. That's I think how he sees them. I don't think he personally dislikes them. I think maybe just other people's children in general. Who does? Who really likes other people's children anyway? But what they can do to get in his way, that's the issue. And he doesn't want that. By any means necessary, he will try and keep that path clear, unfortunately. That was a really good Eeyore. Thank you. What's wrong with onions? Oh, boy. Do we have all day? Onions are the worst food out there. I get it. People use them for seasoning and taste and texture. They're just really gross on all levels. I am slowly working my way into the onion world. Very, very slowly. So onion powder. I will eat the deep fried curly onions on burgers and stuff sometimes. Unless it's at a place that really does a good job, and they coat them kind of like onion rings. And if you can peel the slimy onion out of the... No. Next question. Do you think that Erebos is using Viren to get to Claudia? Sure. I think Erebos is using whoever he can to get everything in his plans to come to fruition. 100%. If someone is susceptible, Viren was very susceptible. His curiosity got the best of him, and his desire to have more strength, more power, more leadership. Erebos, just in his grandeur and just that volume of, he's so powerful. Viren took that hook, line, and sinker, and then paid a pretty steep price, part of which is what's happening with his family. Do you think Viren has a more vulnerable side? Absolutely. And I think we've definitely seen that in season 4. That and more. And I think there will be more to come. Nice shirt. Where can I buy it? This I got off online. There's a bunch of different t-shirt places you can get these. I don't remember exactly the name of the place. But I think I paid a little more than some of the other places I found afterwards. But it got to me fairly quickly, and there was no hassle, and so, yeah. Is Erebos just guessing Viren wishes Soren hadn't been born, or does Viren really wish that? Did he tell Erebos that? That's a good question. No, I don't think, no. I do not believe, no, I'll say that 100%. It sounds like I'm guessing, but absolutely not does Viren think that he wishes his son had never been born. It's very easy to say, with all that's going on, with all this hassle, this stress, all this pain, I wish this had never happened. It's easy for us to say that. We all say that all the time about certain things. We maybe even would say it to people, and we have to go back groveling and saying, I'm very sorry I said those things. I don't mean it. I have to look at Viren from as human a standpoint as I can, as the actor. I do a disservice by judging him at all before I go into portraying the character. And as things start becoming clearer in the scripts as we move along, I'm talking like season 1 and on, it becomes harder. It becomes more difficult because I look at it and go, how do I not judge this guy for this horrible thing or for this action? Or how could he speak to his child that way? I would never, ever, ever do that. And it makes me emotional now, but it brought me to tears when I was reading it because I thought, how does a man speak to his child that way? Well, he speaks to his child that way because he is fearful. It doesn't come across as fear, but I know it's fear. He's afraid of being revealed. He's afraid of what's going to happen if his kids find out. He's afraid of what he'll lose as far as power goes and position if certain people find out certain things. But it comes down to that basic human vulnerability, fear, and our loved ones can often suffer the most, unfortunately. So I do try and keep my perspective on that human level all the time, because no one is 100% evil. I don't know if that's actually true. But Viren is not. Hello! Me and my sister often joke about Viren and Soren saying lines, oh yeah, from the Emperor's New Groove. So could you please say, is it Isma line as Viren? Who's Isma? I haven't seen that movie in ages. Bright Future for Humanity. Is Harold really dead? Because I kept thinking he's trapped in his bird. Look me in my eyeballs and believe me when I tell you, he's dead. He's not in the bird. He's dead. Dead as a doornail knob. Dead is something that is really, really dead. Dead. That's just my opinion. What type of project would you like to take on sometime soon? Any. I know it's a terrible answer, but I want to work on anything and everything. As actors, and as voice actors, we get a lot of auditions. I get a lot of auditions that I just don't book. And that's just the business. That's the way it goes. Can't take it personally. I learned that lesson a long time ago, but not soon enough, because you take things personally, that you feel rejection. So you audition for something, and I can think that was the best audition I've ever done. And the truth is, it very well might have been. It could have been the greatest audition I've ever put out there. But it's just not what they were looking for. Someone else did something that really clicked with them, the producers or whoever's listening. Doesn't mean I did a terrible job. So that being said, you have to do every audition with that idea of doing the best I can to best represent myself in this moment, and to represent that character, to bring that character to life as well as I can and as truthfully as I can. And then I have to leave it there. So all that said, I want to work on anything that comes my way. If I can audition for everything and book everything, yes, please. I'm very, very happy. But to be more specific, of course, it's absolutely no secret that I'm a massive Optimus Prime fan. I love Transformers just in general, but Optimus Prime, I was watching the trailer for the new movie last night with my son, and just hearing Peter Cullen speak, I got a little tear. I kind of yelled a little bit, because I still feel like that 10-year-old who heard Peter Cullen for the first time. So yeah, that's anytime soon. Sure. The sooner the better, but I don't foresee that just yet, but it's on the bucket list. Was it ever hard to pronounce Erebos? No. I did pronounce Catullus incorrect, I don't know, 2 or 3 times when we first started recording season 1. And Harrow. I don't know why, but I would say Harrow. And they'd say, great take, but it's Harrow. And Catullus? I don't even know how I said that wrong. It just seems right now. Catullus. Catalyst? I wouldn't have said that. Would you want the power to turn into a dragon? That sounds like something that would get you in a lot of trouble. Sure. I mean, yeah, great. Here's my problem, though. I have a limited supply of clothes. So do I have to, go out to a field naked and then turn into a dragon? Because is that going to just trash my clothes if I have them on? And then when I back down to a human, am I standing there nude? Because that's the embarrassing part. I'd need, the top of a building, a high building, or a big open field with a stash of clothes. Otherwise, yeah. Hi, I'm waving to people. He's dead, Dave. Oh, great. Raquel's here. Guys, I bug Raquel. Oh, I bug Raquel so much, but I love her very much. Do you see Viren as seeking power for himself, or as a means to an end, or because he doesn't trust others to wield it, or some combination? Yeah, this is a great question. I think it's been quite an argument over the years online. There's certainly people who say that Viren is a power-hungry, selfish megalomaniac. I don't see him that way. Certainly there's elements of that. I do see him having a truthful heart that is broken and tarnished. So not all, but truthful in the sense that he wants something for the greater good, that he sees is the greater good, which is not just him. But let's not get it wrong. When he has that crown on his head and he says, I am the law, that's a pretty selfish place to be. So it's not 100% one way or the other. So yeah, there's definitely some selfish motives and actions in there, of course. There's a big spotlight on that one right there. But holy smokes, is that a lot of fun to play. Just being that kind of guy, that's fun. If Viren dies, I don't know what I'll do. Guess what? He already did. He came back. Can't keep a good man down. Hey, Rack is here. Rack is here, you guys. Please make this live viewable after it ends. I will. I think it goes right to Instagram, right? Or do I have to? Oh boy, I'm going to screw that up. I'm going to do my best. I feel like I know how to do that. Okay, I have to go. Love you. Oh, I didn't get to her right away. You should have requested a love you too, Raquel. See you later if you're still here. Thanks for coming. Gotta go. See you later, Julia Martin 17. Julia Martin, hi, see you later. Do you think Viren spent the time he was dead in some sort of limbo or a similar place where he could think and reflect? Because season 4 of Viren to me feels too different from season 3. You are very correct. He is very, very different. I do not believe he had any understanding, cognizance of what was going on. Not just in the obvious, the time jump. He clearly had no idea that he had been under for 2 years. So that's the obvious part, but I don't think he knew at all what was going on. But the question is good because it asks, well, why is he so different then? And I think that has to do with remembering what had happened, having a very clear, quick understanding of the fact that he died and he is now alive and he only knows of a couple ways, maybe only one way, to bring someone back from the dead, and he sees that on his daughter, and that has to be a very, very sobering thing for him. So, I shouldn't say that has to be. That is a very sobering thing. So, I'm pretty sure it all lands on him very quickly. I don't want to say that 100% because some things still are taking time. But, yeah, it was not a moment. It was not 2 years of him in there rethinking his choices. I want to mention that I predicted this development. It just felt a bit too quick. Which development? Just the 2 year, all of a sudden he was one way and then he was another? Yeah, okay, I get that. I don't see that. I mean, I totally see how people can think that. He went from one way to the other, but if we put ourselves in his shoes, it was quite a rush, and things moved very, very quickly for him as far as this succession of power, this sort of onslaught, and then he plummeted off a cliff, and he remembers every second of that. He knew exactly what was going on, and that's sort of the culmination of everything he was going for led to a very quick and horrible death. And I'm positive that he remembers that and he sees the great error of his ways. It takes more than just, one episode or 9 to get around to fully understanding all of that for him, but it comes pretty quickly. But he does it for humanity. This is correct. Hey, Bob, when Soren reunites with Viren, was there a dialogue recorded between the two, then discarded? No. But keep watching. Did Viren being dead for so long sober him up from dark magic? Yeah, that's a really great way of putting that, I think. Cleared his head to be able to see. And in that moment in episode 1, we see him there's a lot of, what's happening? And he's piecing things together and it's very foggy. But I think that cleared up a lot for him. He was practically afraid of casting dark magic again. Yeah, because he sees. Again, I'm going to go back to this. And I'm repeating myself, but I think it's very, very important to understand that he sees what his daughter had to do to bring him back. He knows what that is. He knows what it means. He knows what it takes. He knows what's sacrificed and what the sacrifice means to the person doing it. I think that in itself would probably be very sobering for him. It's that thing of, I don't want my children to make the mistakes I made. As a parent myself, I make mistakes every day. And I have to look at my kids and I have to think, I don't want them to be that kind of person. I want them to learn better. But we still make mistakes, and our kids learn from those. They watch those. So I think that's probably one of the sobering things, and most of all, anyways, his daughter. Romantic interest for Viren when, though? No time. No time for romance. Listen, if I'm being honest, Viren had one love. And we don't know a whole lot about that right now. So, but keep watching. Gotta go. It's really late. Yes. See you later. If you haven't left yet, see you later. Thank you so much for coming. Kishi-kun has a picture in my Streamily, by the way, really funny. One of my favorite takes on Viren for humanity with a cup of coffee. All right. There's one. His name is Erebos. Yeah, that seems to be everyone's. Yeah. Which is more gratifying, seeing yourself on screen or seeing a show you voiced? Oh, that's a really great question. Gratifying. It's really not about, it's not that. Well, maybe, I guess. I have a really hard time watching myself on screen. And I'm not saying this to be self-deprecating or, I'm just answering the question. I don't like looking at myself because I look at myself and I go, ugh, look at that. It's just the way you view yourself, and that's just the way I view myself. I'm now, after 30 plus years of neglecting my physical fitness and health, I'm now trying to do something about it. It's a very slow go. But when I look at myself on screen, all I see is that. There are some shows I can watch where I really like the work, and it becomes more about the work and not just about me looking at myself, which is how I shouldn't do it anyway. But I see the work, and I see some truthfulness in my work, and I see the actual show itself, and if there's good writing or I'm working with people who are awesome, which is usually the case, I'm able to lose myself in that. When it comes to voiceover, totally different story. I can listen all the time, and sure, I can pick my work apart, but very rarely do I, because I have a lot more comfort and confidence. I think people say that there's a certain discomfort to being truthful in acting, and I definitely understand that. But I do find, especially with this work, with the Dragon Prince, Viren, I do take great comfort in finding those raw emotional moments. Because that's who I am. I cry in movie trailers. I cry in commercials. I get emotional about everything. You wouldn't believe how many times I've cried in the booth over the last 5 seasons of recording. And sometimes not even really, sometimes just watching other people work. And that's who I am. So I take great comfort in that. That's not embarrassing to me. I love that affects me that way. So when I'm listening to the work, I can hear myself, I can hear myself being truthful. Thanks for that question. That's really great. I'm moving along here, folks. Thank you for your patience. When you talk about Viren's truthful heart, it sounds like he really is selfish, power hungry, but genuinely convinces himself that he has noble aims for humanity. Yeah, what if we flip that? He really is genuinely has noble aims, but lets the selfishness take over. I don't know. Look, we're all human beings, and no one can say I would challenge anyone to say that they have not had dark thoughts about something, or they have not done something that they regretted. We all do. And yes, the argument is, yeah, well, he did this. Sure, he did. And there are real human beings who have done certain things like that and still do, and do to this day. Doesn't mean one is the same as the other, but we're all humans. And like I said, I try to live that truthfully in each character, especially in something like this, where we're trying to look at a human being, not some alien or monster or something, but a person who has many, many, many layers, if I can use that word. It's overused, but we talk about black and white and gray area. We're all in the gray area. We all are. Some people choose to express themselves greater in the darkness of that or in the light of that. And, when we see something that's wrong, someone's actions, we like to call them out. And sometimes we like to put them in that box. So this person is black and white, black or whatever. So I try and keep it as truthful as I can. And sometimes that's just awkward and painful to watch. And we don't want to agree with it, or we don't want to say, well, that's what a human being does sometimes. We just want to cast stones and, cast judgment on that person. I love that you're going question by question instead of random sampling. Well, I want to honor all these questions. I love this. So thanks for your patience. In the main live stream, Jesse, Raquel, Ben, and Jack answered what their characters would be like in Vegas. What? We had a question about Vegas? What about Viren in Vegas? That's a short film. Viren in Vegas. I have to get away from my own Vegas thoughts. Can't stand Vegas. No offense to anyone who lives in Vegas. I'm sure parts of it are lovely. I was there when I was 18, and I was just surrounded by gambling and pornography. And no, I wasn't 18. I was younger, and that was weird. So that's all I remember. And I'm also I don't like throwing my money away to gambling. That's just me, and that is no judgment on anyone else. I just hate seeing my $20 go, and I throw some dice, and oh, it's gone. I'm just cheap that way. Anyway, Viren. I don't know. I think that's when he would use some magic. Snake Eyes again? Or Snake Eyes bad? Boxcars. No, what do they say? I think he'd hit 21 every time. Y'all are going to make us cry so hard next season, I think. Next question. I'm hoping to meet you and the rest of the cast someday because I have Rayla's sword. You do? I would love to meet you and see that. Wherever that is, I hope we're going there. Viren and an Elvis impersonator would be comedy gold. Oh. Viren as Elvis. Oh, man. I would love to sing like an Elvis song as Viren. That'd be fun. Christmas without you. Oh, there it goes. That's my phone saying, don't sing anymore, Jason. Sorry, folks. Okay, moving on. Let's see. We all know his romantic interest is Erebos. Do we? Do we all know that? All right. Regarding Viren's romance, I still hope he and Lissa get back together like the divorced couple in a disaster movie. Yeah, they all come together and save the kids and fall in love at the end. I like that. That's very funny. Hold up. You're telling us he ain't down... What's this? He ain't down bad for sparkly Elfman? Is that what I'm telling you personally? Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Bright future for humanity. Do you think dark magic is like a drug that makes you want to use it again and again? Absolutely. Yeah, if it's something he can conjure up and he's got to sacrifice something for it, but it makes him feel that way, gives him that high, you bet. Why did he let Claudia learn it? Oh, man, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm a good dad. I wouldn't let my kids do dark magic. Unless they were really good at it. That's a great question, and I don't think I have the answer to that. Why would he let her do it? Yeah, because he sees the benefits and what she... I think I have a bad answer for that, so I'm not going to answer it, because it'll be a terrible answer. Do you foresee Viren thwarting Erebos? How would I not answer that? Because a yes or a no could give something away, and I don't want to do that. Nice try, Bob. I see what you're doing. So dark magic corrupts him, but does it possess him entirely in a way similar to the One Ring? How responsible is he for his actions, and how much is the corruption possession of dark magic? He is 100% responsible for his actions, no matter how much the dark magic corrupts or possesses him. He makes the choice to pursue it. He falls for the traps. He's the one who gets in. I mean, go back to when he first started, let's say, in his history. Should he have gotten into it if he didn't foresee, or it's dark magic. It's called dark magic for a reason. So this is my personal belief. You need to be responsible for your actions. There's no one else that can do it. I mean, as a father, that's what I'm constantly teaching my kids. You are responsible for your words and actions, and you need to make reparations immediately. If you say something you shouldn't, if you do something you shouldn't. And your apology is not for yourself, it's for the other person. They need to know when you are apologizing to them that is for a certain reason, for hurting them, for slight, whatever it is. So Viren's, I think we're in that phase, getting to that phase now for Viren, but he is 100% responsible. And yeah, dark magic does consume and corrupt, and it takes over, so it's out of his hands, but the choices were in his hands to begin with. If Viren was at karaoke, what would his song choice be? Oh, this is great. I mean, I think Elvis would be good. One of my favorites, and I think it would be a great one to sing as Viren, is Wicked Game by Chris Isaak. That's one of my go-tos for karaoke. And then Giancarlo Volpe and I really went on this kick of Viren singing Rainbow in the Dark by Dio. And I think I would like to make that happen one day. I'm not sure how or why or when, but it's definitely something I worked on for a good month. And unfortunately, it didn't go anywhere. But are your kids interested in following in your footsteps? Oh, yeah. My kids are both actors. They do stuff. My son has 2 cartoon series on right now. He's in a show on Netflix called Phantom Pups. He is really an accomplished voice actor, and he's just getting better and better. So I'm looking forward to seeing where he goes. It used to be them just hanging out at the studio with me, getting to know the places, getting to know the people. And then next thing you know, he's working there. And I'm driving into town to take my son to a gig, and I'm sitting in the car outside of the studio where I usually work. I'm not bitter. Bye, Abigail. Thanks for being here. Oh, I hope I'm not too late. I'm taking my time here. When it comes to mental health, do you think that being an actor is therapeutic? That's a really good question. I think that I think it can be the reverse as well. I think I have it depends on the person. I think people can go into scenes as characters, and they can take a lot of that stuff in, and then they have no outlet for it. Let's say it's a really emotional, traumatic scene or character, the way it's written. Maybe it's the entire script. If the actor has nowhere to shake that off and get rid of it, they take that home with them. I'm sure there are people that do that. I know there are people that do that. I've never experienced that. I've had lots of opportunities to deal with projects that were emotionally taxing, some really dark stuff, and it doesn't affect me that way. I'm not saying I'm a superhuman and I'm better and I know how to do that. It's just the way it goes for me. It's a bit of a light switch, but there does take time. There is time that it takes sometimes. Some of the scenes that we've worked on in this show, past and future, I have a moment where I have to, shake it off. And then it's gone. 2 minutes remaining. No! I can only do this for an hour? Okay. Viren doesn't strike me as a gambling man. No, you're right. I have this headcanon that Viren genuinely thought he was more fit than anyone to be the king. Sure. And was willing to do anything, no matter how awful, to not let anyone he deemed unfit to become king. Yes, I agree. And maybe that has to do with mental health. You singing Blue Christmas reminded me of Raquel, Ben, and Jesse coming with a TDP Christmas album, the main live stream with Soren singing Blue Christmas to Claudia. What? They did? I missed this completely. Where was I? Will we ever hear about Viren's childhood? I hope so. I'd love that. Viren singing Dio would be amazing. Yeah. Are you ensemble recording again, or will there be a return to ensemble? Yeah, it's a good question. We haven't yet. I've recorded in studio with a couple people on a couple different things, but for the most part, it's all single or on Zoom. They'll be in another studio. The more I learn about history, the more I believe in evil, but the more I learn that humans are rarely singularly anything. Yeah. How time flies. Yeah, totally. Thank you for, you are awesome. No, well, thank you. You also are awesome. Here's my question. What's this? I think Viren likes Mexican food. How do I? Sure. I mean, Mexican food is great. Okay, here's my question. Is this going to completely stop or does it keep going? Okay, well, if it stops, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I don't know what I'm doing if this keeps going. I hope so, but if not, thank you very much.